Welcome to r/entitled people, where this crazy lady accuses a dad of kidnapping his own son before trying to kidnap him herself. Crazy lady accuses me of kidnapping my stepson, tries to kidnap him from me. First, a little backstory. I am a mixed ethnicity individual. I've been confused for many races over the course of my 29 years on this planet, but I'm literally Caucasian and African American. Usually it can be figured out, but the difference with me is that my father is the Caucasian, so therefore my hair is straight. I'm originally from Texas and I'm usually confused for being Mexican, but now I live in Massachusetts and I've never had an issue with anyone concerning my race until this day. Also, I am married to a Caucasian woman who had a child before we married. His father is not in his life as much, and I took the responsibility because I love this woman and I love this little boy as if he were my own. He's 4 now, and I've been in his life since he was 1. Anyways, on to the story. My wife needed a few things from the grocery store, and she needed to run a few more errands. Now, usually she just goes and knocks things out herself because I'm asleep. I work nights. But this particular day, I happened to be awake, and I offered to go for her. She works hard and does a lot, so I definitely felt it was necessary to do something for her so that she could just relax for the day. I took my son with me so that she could rest up and just take it easy, and it gave me time to spend with my son for some bonding. We completed all of the errands, which went smoothly, and then headed to the grocery store to finish up our day. My son, being a typical 4-year-old, was full of energy, running ahead of me, laughing, and speaking to everyone he comes across, which I generally don't mind as long as he doesn't hit anyone and stays within eye view. As I'm making my way down an aisle looking for canned corn, my son jogs to the end of it when an older lady is entering at the other end. My son, being the sweet social butterfly he is, approached and exclaims an excited, "Hi, me 4 and me Ryan." Bless his little heart. The lady looked down and says, "Well, hello there. You shouldn't be running around unattended. Let's go and find your parents." I didn't think anything of her statement because I assumed she just hadn't seen me. "Ryan, come back here, bud, please." He excitedly runs back towards me and starts turning in circles because, he's 4. I'm still searching the shelves as the lady walks past me and stops behind me. Again, I think nothing of it because it's a grocery store and you have to share the aisles. I turn my basket around and start to walk towards the front cash registers when this lady literally blocks my path. I say excuse me and try to walk around her, and she moves her car in front of me again. I honestly thought that she was just getting confused and said excuse me once again and tried one more time to go around, but she just blocks my path. The following convo ensues. Sorry about that, we'll get out of your way," I say. "Oh, I don't think so. You're not going anywhere with that child." "What? You mean my son?" "That's not your child. He's white, and you're Mexican. You probably didn't even know his name until he said it to me." "Yeah, sure, whatever, lady. Can you just move? My wife's at home and is anxiously waiting for us." "Stop your lies. You're not taking him anywhere, you perverts." Sorry to interject here, guys, but that is just a really, really interesting, and by interesting, I mean weird and strange claim, isn't it? That a man with a child has to be a pervert. Let's carry on. Now, this whole time, my son is standing close to me, holding my leg because he was honestly getting scared. I was getting angry as I hadn't had much sleep, and I have a short fuse anyway, thanks to that. As you can see, he's standing close to me because he trusts me, and you're scaring him. So how about you buzz off? "No, he's scared because of you. He just doesn't know how to express it yet." She looks at my son. "Come on now, sweetie. I'm here to rescue you. Come with me." Thankfully, my son was able to communicate to her that he wasn't going anywhere with her, but she was having none of it. She literally grabbed my son and began to run. It caught me off guard. I honestly couldn't fathom what was actually happening. My son starts screaming loudly because he was so scared. And this lady is just like, "Don't worry, sweetie. He won't hurt you. I promise." Suddenly, I snap back into reality and I begin to chase after this crazy witch. While running through the store, I yell for people to stop her and that she is literally kidnapping my son. Thankfully, a worker stops her before she makes the exits. "Why are you stopping me? This Mexican here is trying to kidnap my grandson." "What?" My son is literally bawling his eyes out and extending his arms, calling out for me. This lady was relentless though and wouldn't let go of my son, even after he slapped her face multiple times. I laughed a little, I'm not gonna lie. At this point, a manager shows up and asks what is going on. The lady spoke before me. She points at me. This pervert is trying to kidnap my grandson and I was just trying to escape. That's my son, you freaking psycho. Now let him go. The manager didn't know what to believe. I don't blame him. He was caught in a weird situation. So I pulled out my phone and showed him pictures of me and my son that dated a year or so back as proof. This lady would still not give up though and accuse me of faking them. Like, how would you do that exactly? I'll never know, but whatever. Sadly, there were 2 other ladies there taking the psycho's side, saying that I was attempting to kidnap my own son because there was no way we were family because of our different skin tones. One even called the police, which I was actually happy about because I knew that they'd be able to review the security cameras. Sorry, I have to jump in quickly here. First of all, it's ridiculous to think that you can't be a different skin tone to your child. Secondly, what about if you'd adopted, right? Or what about if you were the child's stepdad? Obviously, it could be a different skin tone. Ridiculous. You don't even have to be their dad. Could just be their guardian. Unbelievable. Despite all of this, I still called my wife to see if she could come to the store to get the situation cleared up quicker. As soon as I told her what was going on, she zoomed to the store. She got there about the same time as the police. So much for her easy day off then. The crazy ladies were giving their statement to the cops when my wife walked in. As soon as she walked in, my son goes, "Mama, help!" My wife is a true mama bear, and she immediately flew into a rage when she saw this lady holding my son. "Let him go now," my wife said. "Sorry, sweetie, I was just trying to protect him from this pervert over here." "Yeah, we saw him trying to kidnap him, but this lady saved him," said one of the other ladies. The cop looks at the lady and is confused. "Wait, what? I thought this was your grandson." "Yeah, I have no idea who that lady is," my wife said. She takes out her phone and shows the officer a picture of my mother-in-law. "Okay, I'm sorry, he's not my grandson, but I was only trying to protect him from this dirty pervert over here," the lady said. "Yeah, I witnessed the whole thing," the other lady backed her up. "He snatched that child and tried to run away with him, but this lady stopped it." And then the third lady even got involved. "Yes, I saw it too. He needs to be arrested. And you," pointed to my wife, "should be thankful that this lady was here to save your son because you obviously just let him loose wherever." Wow, now actually going after your wife too? My word. "Who are you talking about again?" my wife asked. All 3 crazy ladies pointed at me. "Oh, you mean my husband?" "Husband? Yeah, who do you think called me and got me here so fast?" I presented my ID to the officer and the manager, and my wife did the same. We also each showed pictures of us on our phones to prove that we really were a family. The cop nodded in approval and handed us our phones back and jotted down a few notes. The 3 ladies, for some reason, still kept trying to say this was all fake and that my wife was in on the kidnapping and said that we needed to be arrested. My wife just lost it at this point and let off some colourful words that I won't repeat here, but she definitely got her point across. Then the nail in the coffin came for the psycho trio. The officer turned to the manager and asked, "Sir, do the cameras work here?" "Yes, we have them inside and out." "Okay, great. Let's go review." The 3 ladies' faces went pale, like ghostly pale. The officer reviewed the outside camera as I pulled into the parking lot and saw me take my son out of my car. And then as I went up and down the aisles, and most importantly, the instant the woman snatched my son and began to run. Upon his return, he asks, "Would you like to press charges?" "Yes, I would," said the lady. "Why would I be asking you that question? Shut your mouth and sit down." He turns to me and repeats the question. "Absolutely," I say. Lady 1 was charged with attempted kidnapping, false imprisonment, providing a false police report, and child endangerment. The 2 others were also charged with providing a false police report as well. To make matters worse for the lady, my son bruises easily, and she left some terrible spots on him from where she was grasping him. But he's fine. This added a charge of child abuse to her rap sheet. I've caught later this year, but I'm not sure when it will be because of COVID. Guys, this story is from 3 years ago. The officer will be following up with me in a few weeks. And there we go. That concludes that unbelievably strange story. My one question throughout all of that, and it was whilst I was reading it, was just what are these women's intentions here? Maybe the 2 hanger-ons knew the first lady or saw what was going on but didn't see it from the off and were trying to take her side and back her up because they genuinely thought that what she said had happened had actually happened. But for the lady herself, what is she doing? Especially when she sees your wife. Yeah, she didn't know it was your wife, but she sees the mum come in and be pretty calm with you, OP, her husband. Why is she still then going on about this? I just don't understand from the off what her idea was. Maybe she genuinely did think that you were trying to kidnap this kid, but that's so ludicrous anyway for the points that I raised during reading. Don't really get it. Guys, if you have any idea, please enlighten me in the comments down below if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening on a podcast platform, come over to YouTube and let me know your thoughts, because I'm at a complete loss for words. Maybe she is just absolutely insane, and yeah, to be fair, the more that I think about it, that wouldn't be the first time that we've come across an insane person on this subreddit. Maybe I'm just looking for logic when there is none. Maybe that's just me. Moving on to our next entitled people story. I've upgraded to first class. Background: airline captain, commuted to work, purchased a full fare first class ticket to get there. I lived in Atlanta at the time, domiciled in Houston, and commuted. Now, normally you could get a jump seat in the cockpit, but on this auspicious day, that was already taken. Pass riding wasn't an option because there were no seats in coach and only one in first. Pass riders can be bumped for fare-paying passengers, and I needed to get to work. So I plunked down my credit card and I bought the last seat in first. Boarding has occurred and I'm peacefully in my seat, waiting for pushback. Out of nowhere, an entitled woman comes along. "You are sitting in my seat. You'll need to move right now." I do check my boarding pass and then say, "Nope. This is my seat. Not gonna happen. Sorry." "But you're an employee and you're sitting in my seat. Move now." "May I see your boarding pass?" Clearly there's been some mistake. "You may not see my boarding pass. I showed that when I boarded. I've upgraded to first class. Now move." "You'll need to resolve this with the flight crew. I'm a passenger." This entitled woman stomps off, resembling an irritated Dolores Umbridge, and returns with the flight attendant. "Good morning, Captain. May I see your boarding pass?" she asks. "Sure thing," and I show my boarding pass. "Mom, that's his seat. He paid for it." "Well then throw him off, dear. I've upgraded to first class and that is now my seat." "I need to see your boarding pass, Mom." "You will not. I showed it when I boarded. I've upgraded to first class." "How did you upgrade to first class?" "I upgraded to first class. Look, I'm more important than an employee. Now get him out of my seat." Someone has called the cockpit by this point, and the captain has left the flight deck to come and deal with this. "Mom, I'm Captain Wallaby," not his real name. "I've just spoken with the gate agent. We certainly apologize for this awkward situation. The agent has corrected your paperwork and has a voucher for future travel for you as well. Please go and fetch your new boarding pass and your voucher and we'll be on our way." The entitled woman departs up the jetway with a triumphant smile on her face. The captain turns to the flight attendant and says, "Prepare the doors for departure." The doors close. The captain returns to the cockpit, and as we push back from the gate, I can see the entitled woman pounding on the glass next to the jetway. It was a nice ride to Houston. The coffee was wonderful. Right then. I'm not gonna lie, I did not expect that ending. Immediately, my thoughts are, this sounds a little bit too good to be true. I mean, not gonna lie, it could be fake. Doesn't change the fact that I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Even if it's fictitious, I've loved every second of that, especially the ending. Ridiculous, but hey, comment down below, guys. What do you think? Real or not? I want to know your thoughts. I mean, let's be honest, right? It does seem a little bit farcical that this happened, and it probably does go against some form of law, airline law. I don't know exactly, but I presume you can't. You know, I'm saying this. I think that you can, right? If the pilot is saying, if the captain is saying, "I don't want this woman on my flight," it's his choice, isn't it? It's their choice. It's his plane. He's the one that's, you know, putting everyone in a very dangerous situation, a life-threatening situation. Not threatening, but you get what I mean. Everyone's lives on that plane are in the captain's hands. Therefore, legally, it probably is his decision who flies. I mean, again, I don't know this, so I'm just kind of, you know, saying what I think, guesstimating. Any one of you that do knows this or works on a plane, please do get involved in the comments down below. Clearly, I don't know myself. So therefore, he probably was within his rights to do this. And maybe this is not the first time that this has happened. And by this point, throughout the years of dealing with entitled women like this, he's just like, you know what? I'm done. I'm gonna do this for the memes. And I want to see her waving. And I want to see her smashing the glass as we're pulling away. And you know what I'm going to do? Just going to give her a cheeky little wink as I take off into the sunny sky. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this one. Really hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you want more entitled people content straight away, a couple of videos are up on screen right now. If you're new to the channel and haven't already done so on whatever platform you're on, hit the subscribe button, the follow button, turn notifications on, and you'll never miss one of my daily uploads. And I'll see you guys all tomorrow with a brand new one.